So binomial distribution is also known as Bernoulli distribution after the Swiss mathematician James Bernoulli, who discovered in 1700 and was published in 1713, 8 years after his death. This distribution can be used under the following condition. Random experiment is performed repeatedly, finite and fixed number of times. In other words, n, we are going to take the number of trials is finite. So you have to remember in the first point, n is the number of trials, which is finite and fixed. In binomial distribution, we come across outcomes of each trial may be classified into two mutually disjoint categories. You have to remember two categories here, students. That is, one is successive, probability of successive occurrence of the event, and second one is the failure, that is non-occurrence of the event. You have to remember the second point. There are two mutually disjoint categories, success and failure. Third one, we come across all the trials are independent. The results of any trial is not affected in any way by the preceding trials and does affect the results of succeeding trials. So here we come across the fourth point, the probability of success is any trial is P. So what we denote, you have to remember P is nothing but our probability of success, that is happening of an event, or we also take it as the occurrence of the event, students. Okay, and is constant, you remember, for each trial. Then we come across q is equal to 1 minus p. You have to remember q is equal to 1 minus p is then termed as probability of failure. So you remember q is nothing but 1 minus p, it is failure, that is the non-occurrence of the event, and is constant for each trial. So more prescribedly, I have just, you have to remember what is n, number of trials. These trials are independent. P is nothing but probability of success, and q is nothing but probability of failure. You have to also remember this q is equal to 1 minus p. So I think everybody, you are holding your camera landscape, huh? Remember, hold your phone. If you are using phone, just hold it cross. So next we have the probability function of binomial distribution. So here, students, in binomial distribution we have distribution table like this. Xi's are 0, 1, 2, and then x. And the last term will be always n. So remember, if they give some distributions, the last term you are going to take it as n term. That is near number of trials. And then corresponding probabilities are p of xi, that is q raised to n, nc1, q raised to n minus 1, p, nc2, q raised to n minus 2 into p square, so on, ncx, q raised to n minus x, p raised to x, p raised to n. So the binomial distribution is denoted by, this is, you have to remember b, n is nothing but number of trials, students, p is nothing but probability of success, and x is nothing but our random variable. This is equal to, this is nothing but sum of all these values. Sum of all this will be summation n cx p raised to x q raised to n minus x, which is equal to summation ncx p raised to x into 1 minus p raised to n minus x. Just remember, n is any positive integer, p is nothing but real number from the interval 0 and 1. And you have to remember also another condition, that is q is equal to 1 minus p, students. So this is what we have, the probability function is called binomial probability function, and the corresponding distribution is called binomial distribution. So then these are the two conditions, students. You have to remember for the probability density function, already I have told you, that is b of, that is binomial, n trials, p probability of success, and xi's are random variable which is always greater than or equal to 0, students. So this is one you have to remember as the first condition. And if you take the sum of all these, students, this is always equal to 1. Remember, sum of all these binomial distributions will be p plus q raised to n, which is equal to 1, students. So next, very, very important, we come across mean. What is mean? It is denoted by mu, which is equal to np. Again, I am repeating again and again, that is n is nothing but number of trials, p is nothing but probability of success, students. So this formula you have to remember. Next, this is given by variance, but here variance we take here, it is sigma square is equal to npq. So remember the formula for variance, students, that is sigma square is equal to npq. And then we come across the binomial distribution, which is square root of npq. Okay, so here I'll just make it 2 minutes for revision. Remember, always this you are going to take the distribution 0 random variable, 1, 2, x, and then n random variable there, n trials. And these are p of xi's. This is your binomial distribution, and then binomial distribution is denoted by b npx, which is equal to summation n cx p raised to x into 1 minus p raised to n minus x. Then mean, variance, standard deviation, and here in general, if they give certain frequencies, suppose in the example, if they tell you what is the mean of the frequencies, so we consider this both together. We take the, in this from the table, we take the frequency of the mean of the frequency as mean is equal to summation f into x divided by summation f. So here f are nothing but the function. So here we have taken probability as a function, and this will become the random variable x. So just remember this. Then I have just taken some few applications, that is number of defectives in a sample from production line we are going to take here, estimation of reliability of system we are going to take, and number of fired rounds fired from a gun hitting a target. And it is also one of the application for radar detection. So you are going to write the first example. If possible, you try to solve this example, students. So here what they have given, they have told you that 256 sets of 12 tosses of a coin. In how many cases one can expect 8 heads and 4 trials? So already told you that in one event, 8 heads and 4 trials they have told us. So I'm going to take as the 8 as our random variable x. So we'll take this x now. So I'll solve this problem as a friend already suggested me to use. Yes. Yes. So if possible, you can also solve. I'm going to take example 1. It is a writing tablet I'm going to use here, students. Okay. Maybe this will be more effective and it will help you to understand. Yes. So is it visible, students? Screen is visible. Can you see the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yes. So now you can see. I know. Okay. So we'll start our example now. So suppose this question is given, just you have to first identify what are the things given in this. So I'll just write up the given. Okay, what is given here, students? There are 256 sets of 12 tosses. So before taking 256, I will go for one set. So can anybody tell me? Yes. Yes. Okay. Raj, can you tell me if I toss one coin, what is the probability?
So 1/2.
Yes, very good. So I'm going to take for one set, that is one coin. I'm going to take P as the probability of success. P is equal to 1 upon 2, or we take 0.5. Similarly, what will be Q, students? I already told you Q is nothing but 1 minus P, so which is equal to 1 minus 0.5, which is, you are going to get this as 0.5. So remember, we have got P and we have calculated Q as 0.5. So can anybody tell me what is the number of trials here? Yes, very, very simple. There are 12 tosses. You are going to toss a coin 12 times. Therefore, n is equal to, we are going to get here 12. This is clear now. P you have calculated, you have got, Q you have calculated, and N they have already given. Then for, we'll go with the probability distribution formula, that is P of X is equal to NCX P raised to X Q raised to N minus X, student. So already I have told you to remember this value, students. Yes. So here I'm going to take the random variable, that is X. I'm going to take here 8. Okay, this is our random variable, 8 heads. In one event there are 8 heads. If I take 8 heads, then it is understood that there are 4 tails. So I'm going to take random variable X, student. So start the simplification now with me. You also please try to simplify. P of X is equal to 8 is equal to, so N is 12. I'm going to write here 12. C, X is nothing but 8. Yes, Uma, please substitute and tell me what is the answer. P is nothing but 0.5 raised to X is nothing but 8. Then Q is nothing but again 0.5. I'm just substituting the values in the formula of binomial distribution. So here N is nothing but 12 minus X is nothing but 8, student. So directly substitute the values and tell me what is the answer. Yes, Rahul?
0.120.
0. Yes, very good. It is 0.1208. Very good. Yes, correct. So I think this is very, very simple now. Direct substituting the values, you got the probability for one coin. Remember, you got the probability for one coin. Correct. Then if you toss this coin, this is for one set, we have calculated. So similarly, if you calculate this for 256 sets, so what will be then expected number of such cases is 256 sets. So for 256 sets, can you tell me what will be the answer? For 256 sets, it is 256 into 0.1208, which is equal to, can you tell me what is the answer, students?
30.92.
Yes, very good. I think Raj is solving 30.92. So we cannot take the point. So
Yes, sir,
round off.
30.92.
Yes, very good. Therefore, the expected number of such cases for 256 sets is, I'm going to take this as, if I round this, I'm going to get this as the value 31, student. So like this, you have to solve this example. Yes, if possible, I'm going to put this notes later. You can write it down afterwards. Okay. Similarly, now you understood how to calculate P, Q, N, and X, substitute in the binomial distribution formula. Then you're going to get the value 0.1208 for one set. Similarly, you're going to calculate for 256 sets. You just multiply 256 into 0.128. Therefore, we get the expected value, that 31. Is it clear, students? Now, similarly, please try for the next one. So this is what I have already calculated. Anything?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, tell me, beta.
In this question, for first question, previous one.
Yes.
So how many cases can one expect? 8 heads and 4 tails they have given, no?
In one only, in one set. Is it clear? In one set, 8 heads and 12. Sorry, 4
4.
trials. Correct. In
So
one
then for
set,
tails also we have to solve, right? Or no?
no, we have taken one variable. I have taken here only one variable. So don't take both the variables. I'm going to take only one variable, that is 8. Yes, very good. It is good question that in one set I'm going to take variable 8. So it means that this is our success. You are not getting anything. This is your success. Means in this probability, this is our failure. Very good question. Yes. So it is clear now. In one set there are the probability of success and failure. I think I already mentioned that in any trial there will, in any probability there will be two things: probability of success will occur as well as probability of failure will occur, where we are going to take 8 heads and 4 tails. So this is for one set. Is it clear now? Okay, so
So
please
but
try for
sir, if we get 8 heads, then there is a probability that we may get 8 tails also, no? Then why is it 8 heads and 4 tails?
no, we are going to toss this for only 12 times. It is clearly mentioned that if there are 8 heads, if you toss a coin for 12 times, there will be definitely, if you take 8, means other part will be having 4 tails. It is understood. So if you calculate for 1,
Okay, sir. Yes.
okay,
Sir,
thank
understood.
you. Yes, very good question here, Raj has asked. Yes, we'll go for the next now. Okay. Okay. So please try for the next question. Yes. Is question visible, students? Okay, I will also read the
Yes, sir.
question. Yes. In sampling a large number of parts manufactured by a company, the mean number of defectives in samples of 20 is 2. Out of 1000 such samples, how many would be expected to contain at least 3 defective parts? So please try to solve this example. Those who have understood, solve it. For remaining, I'm going to solve this example. So this is our next example. Okay, so we'll solve now. So at least you should now identify what is given here, students. Okay, so just first identify what is given. So try to understand the question. So here, this is, we have the large number of parts manufactured by a company. So we'll just see the mean of defective in sample of 20, they have given 2. Means how many samples are there, students? 20. So means that here they have given samples 20. Already told you n are nothing but number of trials. So here they have given n is equal to 20, and mean is they have given mean is equal to 2. Therefore mean is denoted by mu, which is equal to 2. Therefore you should know the formula. Already told you to remember the formula. Please remember the formula and practice. Mean is equal to n into p, students. So this will be equal to 2 because mu is equal to 2. So n is equal to 20. If you simplify, you can calculate the value. So I will take here mean 2, n is equal to 20, and p. So this is how indirectly here they have given the value of p. Yes, can Uma tell me what is the value of p, please?
0.1.
Yes, very good. So it is, I will just simplify, it is 2 divided by 20. So we get here 0.1. Can you tell me what is the value of q? When you know p value, you can calculate q value, that is 1 minus p. So what is the value when if you calculate?
0.9.
Yes, very good. Orally you can calculate. No need of again calculator. So this is q is equal to 1 minus p, means 1 minus 0.1, where you get this as 0.9, students. Now we see next. So when you know n value, p value, q value, now we'll go for, they have told you to calculate probability at least 3 defectives. Probability of at least 3 defective parts they have told to calculate. So I will go with the, so you can take this as probability of at least, probability of at least 3 defectives. Okay, so what will be the probability of at least 3 defective means? It is clearly saying that this is the probability of failure, right? Defectives means it is in negative part, therefore we take it as failure. So already you know the value, that is 1 minus p. But here there are 3 defectives, therefore I will take 3 defectives as p of 0, that is 0 variable, minus p of 1, that is 1 variable, then p of 2, I'm going to take this as 2 variables, students. Is it clear why I have taken this 1 minus this full? Because probability of at least 3 defectives, that is already I have told you the probability for this 3 defectives. We are going to take this as 1 minus p of 0 plus p of 1 plus p of 2, means this is our probability of failure. Therefore now substitute here, student. Yes, if you just calculate the probability for using binomial distribution. So if substitute p, q and n in the formula, as you remember the formula ncx. So n is here 20, c x, because x here we don't know. So p is nothing but 0.1, and x I will keep as it is, students, and then q I am going to take here 0.9, as we have calculated this, and n minus x, n is nothing but 20 minus x, students. So this is how we get the value. I'll just write once again. Okay, so this value you are going to get this as 20 c x, leaving x, all the terms we know. So I'm going to substitute all the terms leaving x. So by using the probability distribution formula, I get p of x. So now you'll see this, if you just identify this 0, 1 and 2, they are x values, students. Already I told you it is random variable 0. Here variable is 0, here it is 1, and here it is 2, students. So how you will simplify now? Keep this one as it is and substitute now x is equal to 0 by using this now. Equation 1 I will call this. I'll put it here now. So what is the probability when random variable is 0? So it is 20c0, and this is 0.1 raised to 0, and here it is 0.9 raised to 20 minus 0, then plus. Now x is 1, students. Now already by equation, using equation 1, substitute the values. It is 20c1 and 0.1 raised to 1 Next into 0.9 raised to 20 minus 1 students. Okay, isn't clear? Plus, so next what we have p of 2, that is x is equal to 2 students. Substitute the values now. So what we get, 20c2. Directly you can put it in your calculator and tell me what is the value, students. Substitute the values now. So this is 20 minus 2. So this is what we get the probability of failure or probability of at least 3 defectives. In the manufacturer we have 3 defectives. So then now directly substitute. Tell me what is the, so this is for one sample. Yes, remember this is for one sample. Always we are calculating for one sample. So therefore, what is the probability of at least 3 defectives we are going to get here, students? Yes. Yes, Uma, can you tell me please? What is the value we are going to get here?
Yes, sir. Wait, I'm calculating.
Okay, okay, I will wait. Yes, Sridhar is calculating, I think. Yes. Srushti, I think you are trying. Saurabh, Vishal. Directly in one step you will get the answer. So this is this probability of at least 3 defectives you're calculating for one sample. So substitute the values correctly.
Sir, is it 0.3230?
Excellent, very good. You have done very good. What about others? You have got the answer? Yes. See, if you just simplify the values correctly, definitely the answer is correct. Very good. So this is what for one sample you are going to get. So excellent. You have done, you have calculated it correctly. So this is what value everyone must get, students. Okay. So next we will go for calculating for 1000. So number of defectives you are going to calculate out of 1000. It is clearly mentioned here to calculate out of 1000 such samples. So number of defectives in 1000 samples. So you can take number of defectives in 1000 samples will be equal to 1000 into 0.323. I think Raj has got the answer. Please check the answer once again. You should get
Yes, sir.
0.323. Yes, very good. So you got the answer correctly. So this will be equal to 323, students. So this is how we have got the answer. So this is everyone must get this answer. So is it clear? Any doubt, students, in this example? Yes. Rahul, I think you have you calculated the values?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, shall we go to the next example, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what I have already calculated here. So go for next example, student. Now this example, I expect everyone must solve this example, and that will give you the confidence. Yes. So you can take this example. Please write down this example. Yes, you can copy down. 5 dice were thrown 96 times, and the number of times an odd number actually turned out in the experiment is given. Fit binomial distribution to this data and calculate expected frequencies. Number of dice showing 1, so they have told odd numbers, means they are already given 1 or 3 or 5 odd. So from the given distribution, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they have told you to find odd numbers only. So these are the observed frequencies, that is 1, 10, 24, 35, 18 and 8 students. So please try to simplify and see. Okay, so with you even I will solve the example. Fine, we'll see. Please tally your answers. Okay, so first we will see what is given. So very simple. What they have told you here, students, definitely 96 times will come later. First one time we'll try to do it. Then okay, number of times an odd actually turned out in the experiment. So odd is turned out, means what is our probability? If we take the probability of getting 1 or 3 or 5 is equal to, means 3 variables are there here, students. So what will be the probability? Can Uma tell me? So there are how many values are there here? We will see 1, 2, 3 probabilities, 4, 5 out of 6. Yes, out of 6. If you take 3 odd, so what will be the probability?
6
Yes.
C3.
Probability for 1. So odd numbers will take here 3 divided by 6. First we will calculate for p value. No. So first we will take p value. First you have to always calculate p value. Then we will go for next value. So this is 3 divided by 6. So what is the value for this one, students? So p is equal to 1 upon 2. So when you know what is p, that is probability of getting 1 or 3 or 5 is equal to 3 upon 6. So p is equal to 1 upon 2. So already I told you, whenever you get p value, you should go for q value. What is q value? It is 1 minus p, which is equal to again 1 upon 2, or you can also take here 0.5, students. 1 upon 2. So when you come across p and q, yes, so here can anybody tell me what is the value n number of trials? They have told you in the distribution the last value will be n. So what is the n value? Yes, can Uma tell me what is n is equal to?
5.
Yes, very good. Because n number of trials they have taken here, the last value, whatever the value they have given, they have shown here, that will become n. So n is equal to 5 we get. So you know now p, q and n. Substitute in the probability and tell me the answer, students. I will write again once again the formula. For binomial distribution formula, we have p of x is equal to ncx p raised to x q raised to n minus x, which is equal to, so n I am going to take here 5 c x, and then because x we don't know, so this is your 0.5 raised to x, and this is again 0.5 raised to n minus x, that is 5 minus x, student. So this is what you have to first calculate when you know p, q and n. Then what it says, so this is for one variable, no. So next they have told you the dias were thrown 96 times, means if you take this as the function, so now actually we want for 96 time, either you multiply 96 time at the end, or for all these probabilities you are going to multiply 96 times. So what I take this as, now I'm going to take this as f of x is equal to 96 into p of x, students. I'm going to calculate this for x variables. So you can see how many x are there here, students. So there are 0 variable is there, 1 variable is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, 4 is there, as well as 5 is there. Means all, for all these terms we have to calculate the expected frequencies. So I'm going to denote the expected frequency as f of x, and this is for 96 times they have told. You have to calculate it for 96 times. Therefore, I have taken f of x is equal to 96 into our binomial distribution p of x. So I'm going to start for first frequency, that is f of 0, student. Means here x is equal to 0. Consider here x is equal to 0. That is our first frequency. That is, they have given here as 0 variable. So what we get the value here, students? It is 96 into p of 0. So this is equal to 96 into, now use this value for binomial distribution, use this value. So what will be that? I will take here 5 x, x is here 0, so I will take here 0, then it is 0.5 raised to 0 into 0.5 raised to 5 minus 0, students. Can you please calculate and tell me what is the value?
The
3.
3.
Yes, very good, excellent, you have got the answer. Now go for the next frequencies now, students. It is f of 1. So we'll take the next, it is 1. So here x is equal to 1. Very good, you got the correct answer. So please go for the next one now. It is 96 into p of 1, which is equal to 96 into 5c1 0.5 raised to 1 into 0.5 raised to 5 minus 1, which is equal to, can you tell me what is the value for the next frequency, expected frequency? Substitute and please tell me.
So 15.
Yes, very good. So you are getting correct answer. So you are going ahead with the correct values. So can you go for the next frequencies, that is f of 2, which is equal to 96 into p of 2. Here x you are going to take 2. So this is 96 into 5c2 into 0.5 raised to 2 into 0.5 raised to 5 minus 2, which is equal to, yes, very good, you got the answers now. You're fast than me now. Okay, go for f of 3 is equal to 96 into p of 3 is equal to 96 into 5c3 into 0.5 raised to 3 into 0.5 raised to 5 minus 3. Can you tell me what is the answer for this, students? When you take the expected frequency f of 3? Yes.
30.
Yes, very good. You got again the expected frequency is 30. Go for the next one now. F of 4, which is equal to 96 into P of 4 is equal to 96 into 5C4 into 0.5 raised to 4 into 0.5 raised to 5 minus 4. Please tell me what is, see, don't change the formula, keep the formula as it is, just change the values. If you have using calculator, just change, instead of 0, you change 1 instead of 1, then you put in the next frequency 2, then you put 3, then you put 4. Just change the x values. Keep the formula as it is. Keep this formula as it is. This you have to keep as it is in your calculator, remember. Yes, tell me for f of 4, please. What is the value?
50.
Yes, very good.
15.
You got 15, yes. Now go for f of 5. F of 5
3.
yes, already you got the answer. So I think no need of writing everything in this. You can directly take here the value 3. Therefore, they have told you to calculate the expected frequencies. Therefore, we have already calculated the expected frequencies. So we take the expected frequencies are. So what are the expected frequency here, students? They are 3, 15, 30, 30 and 15, and the last one is 3, students. So is it clear? Any doubt here still? Yes.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I think we have completed the binomial distribution. In the next class we'll go with the next distribution, students. So please practice this examples. Also I will upload the video, so you can go through this once again. Yes, thank you. We will continue in the next class.